Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos here for my first episode of Red Flags of Dating. And basically what this is going to be is just kind of a reminder to myself when I get back into my next relationship to watch out for these things, because these have all happened to me or people close to me, and they've told me the stories, and it always comes back and bites you in the butt at the end. So I'm going to add these on as I get people telling me their stories and whatnot. I'll throw another video up here, but this is going to be more of just an introduction. These are not any like exact stories. All these are going to be skating around the exact incident, but they are going to be detail accurate for how it went down, for the gist of it. Like if it was, happened in Chicago, it may get said that it happened in Detroit, or so on and so forth, in order to protect the scared, I guess, more than anything. So some of the men that have told me these stories are fearful of the women that were the stories told about. Some, they're still in a relationship with that woman, so they don't want to be getting called out in that process. And a few of the women don't want the men mad at them either in the whole process. This goes for both sides. It's not just men fearing of women in a relationship. This is both ways that it goes. So basically, this is going to be a situation. If you guys got any comments and stuff you want to leave me, you can throw me a comment down below. If you want to tell me your story and then I can put it on one of these videos, I would be happy to do that as well. You can send me a comment, and then I always have everything has to be approved. So if it's something juicy, I won't release it to the world. I'll contact you, or to send me a private message on YouTube here, and then we can basically maybe throw one of these together. I've got like a dozen in my head right now that I need to probably get done, but I can always use a bunch more, because I think this could be a rather interesting situation. So one of the big ones, is just all fact. These are in no order. These are all just going to be going along. So I'm not going to say, oh, the first one I say is the one. And all of these also fall into the fact of, just because someone has done something like this does not mean that they can't get over it, can't get past it, and are not worth dating. This is just a situation to where, if this is something that's happening to you, take note of it. Just go ahead and be, conscious of the situation, and realize that this may come back and bite you in the ass later on. So it's always so easy to overlook all this stuff when we're young in the relationship, new in the relationship, how you want to call it, and you're like, oh, this person doesn't get the quirks and whatnot. And some of these are actual situations that I've been the villain in these stories, and basically you shouldn't date me if you can't handle this kind of stuff as well too. So this is not like I'm sitting here like I'm Mr. Perfect and I can't put up with this crap. This is also stuff that I do, and one of the biggest ones that I do as a guy that I've been told over and over again, this one I'm going to call myself out on, because I know that a lot of us do this. But when someone's telling us their problems, or telling me personally their problems, as a guy, and as a guy who wants to fix everything, I have the hardest time possible in the world not to solve that problem. I know a lot of times, women especially, other people have too, but they're like, just let me vent, just let me talk about it, just let me, get this out there. And I'm like, we can fix it, just do this. It's not that hard. Just stop doing this one thing, and you'll never have that problem again. And there was an incident where basically this person lost their keys constantly. I'd say at least 5 times a week they could not find their keys. And it could be 2 or 3 times in a single day they would misplace their damn keys. And I'm like, and most of the time it was in their purse. It was just buried way down deep in their purse. It never got there. So I actually went and made them a little carabiner type setup that hooked on the strap of their purse that hung down inside. So when you basically take your keys out of your hand from unlocking the door or out of the car or whatever, just hook that little carabiner, and it's right there, and they're always on top. You can never lose them again. And they would then, spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes looking for their damn keys. And usually it's as we're trying to leave, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm out in the car, like, hey, come on, let's go. They're like, give me my keys. I'm like, you don't need them. I've got my keys. The house is going to be locked. I'll unlock them and get back. It's not a big deal. I've never lost my keys in my life, so we're good. If we get back home and there's no keys, we're going to be all right. I have AAA. I have spare keys hidden around the house. I have spare keys in my vehicle, on the vehicle. Let's go. And they kept freaking out. And I said, just use the damn carabiner. How hard is this? And they like, well, you don't take into consideration how frustrated I get, blah, blah. And I just said, yes, I do. But you don't take into consideration how frustrated you're making me by not using the damn carabiner. I took the time to fix your problem. Use it. You'll never have this situation again. And here, if for no other reason, then you don't want to hear me bitch and say, use the carabiner. Just use it, Now, I understand if it was one time in your life you lost your keys, you couldn't misplace them, you couldn't find them, and it took you 20 minutes, and then I made a big deal, and I built you a carabiner, and I made a cup by the door, and blah, blah, whatever. That's one thing, but it's not. It's happening multiple, minimum 3 to 5 times a week, and you still won't use, this is going on for like ever and ever. That right there is a big giant red flag. And if you're the type of person who's unwilling to solve your own problem of losing your keys by hooking on the carabiner or hooking on the hook by the door or putting it in a bowl by the door, whatever you want to do, if you're that person, you should not want to be in a relationship with me, because that will drive me so batshit crazy that I won't be able to handle being around you enough that I'm going to annoy you about not putting your keys where they need to be. So that's where my downfall of that comes into, is I cannot let go. It's like, oh, just let her be a free spirit, let her lose her keys all the time, because it personally affects me, because I'm the one sitting there ready to go, annoyed as hell, just, lack of a better term, getting pissed off, waiting to go because you can't find your damn keys again. So that's the situation. Those are 2 red flags that the 2 of them come back in the one story. If you don't like somebody who wants to solve your problems, you should not be with me. And if you are the type of person who always loses your shit and will not take responsibility, will not just suck it up and fix the problem, I shouldn't be with you either. So that's kind of the runabout of how these are going to go. I don't know how many I'll get done and when exactly. Hoping to throw up a few here and there. I've got like I said, I got about a dozen I've got ready to go. I just need to record them and get them out there. So I've been trying to figure out how to word this and how to make it all go, and how to basically not hurt anybody's feelings if anybody sees these, and go from there. So if you got any pointers, any tips on how I can present these and not have me come off as such an asshole, because I'm all right being an asshole to a point, I just don't want to come off as a complete asshole. So I want to basically, like I said, this is more of a learning curve for myself. I shouldn't be with a person that drives me crazy like this, because I want somebody who brings out the best in me, not the stress in me. So anyway, get out there, find yourself somebody, and do not avoid red flags. Take care of yourself and have a great day.